Now all the women are very happy as we have another woman out coming here. She is beautiful, the oracle of the Lal Street. We will be sharing her experience. And may I please call on stage Deena Mehta, Managing Director, Asit Mehta Financial Services. Everyone, come on.
Good morning, everybody. It gives me great pleasure to be part of this program because I was there in the first program. And I think that time we gave award to 100 women in finance. And that's how this entire journey started of rewarding women in finance. I'm really thankful to Aditya. Of course, his 10-year journey, I have been part of his since inception. And of course, I think I'm very old so far as the young women in finance industry is concerned. But it his love and affection that he keeps calling me to these programs. I think talking about women, so many meetings I have addressed and so many places I go. I think, have women arrived? That is one question, that comes before all our minds. When I started my career in 1985, I was the first woman to enter the trading ring. And after 10 years, what I have seen is that when the ring closed, there were about 20, 30 women who were there in the trading ring. So in 10 years, maybe women coming into the trading ring were fewer, but the people who joined the finance industry were quite many. Because I have traveled almost 450 districts of India doing investment education programs over the last few years. And in every place that I have gone, the number of women who came to the programs have in fact increased year after year. And I was happy to hear about Pakistan because in late 90s, I'm one of the founder members of SARC, the Confederation of Exchanges, which is called SAFE, South Asian Federation of Exchanges. And we had our program in Pakistan. And in Pakistan, there were 3,000 delegates. And I was the only woman, and that also I had gone from India. So you can imagine what was the poor participation that we see in all the places, not only India, but in other places also. So my question, have we arrived? No, because still there are boards which do not have women directors. There is no 100% compliance so far as having women directors on the board is concerned. Have we arrived? We will know only when our mother, our grandmother, sister, sister-in-law, aunt-in-law, and all the women who are related to us are working women. Today, if you see, the number of working women will be 1 or 2 in the family. Whereas if we think that, entire family of women are working, there are very few families like mine in which I as a mother-in-law is working and my 2 daughter-in-laws are also working. And my sister-in-law is a doctor, and my another sister-in-law, she works with insurance. There is one more sister-in-law who makes sweaters and she sells them. So there are very few families like that where you see so many women who are, working and part of the entire ecosystem. Now, what is the reason for this? I think the reason is not very far to see, and that is because we ourselves, how much strength we have in continuing with our careers as we move forward in our careers. What we see is that, all girls want to do MBA, they want to do engineering, they want to do MBA. And the percentage of girls who are moving out of their hometowns, out of their states, going out and studying, they are really very large. What they were before, like, if I go and visit one of my offices, we have about 650 offices across the country, almost 23 states. And if we go over there, they would have a daughter who has gone to Ranchi to study, or who has gone to Coimbatore or Calcutta or Bangalore. But once they start working, see, marriage is first breaking spot. Many women, they generally, obviously, they are expected to go wherever their husbands are. They go over there. That is also no problem. They can go there and they can work. But the first pregnancy is one of the major breaking points that we see in most of the women career. First pregnancy comes, especially first 3 months, and once the child is born, that whole 1 year is a real tough journey for most of the women. And when we say that men must help women, men must upgrade, I would say women must upgrade women, because the kind of family support which is required at that point of time, that is the first few months of pregnancy, first child born, and the year after. Many women are successful because their parents or their in-laws have moved into their houses, and whatever support is required is provided by them. This is one of the major, I would say, breakage in career which is happening. And if you look at most successful women, we had Lalita Gupte, we had Renuka Ramnathan. Renuka was, same batch as I did my MBA. Then we had Aruna Jayanti, she was also my classmate. So all these women who did well in their careers, they have an uninterrupted career of between 15 to 18 years. And that uninterrupted career, it takes the women to the top. You start somewhere, if you do your, post-graduation, IIM, IIT, or any good post-graduation, by the age of 23, 24, you do. And by the time you settle down, you will have to spend at least cross 40 to reach the top of the organization. And it is very few women who have a uninterrupted journey throughout these 15 to 18 years of time. And this is what happens when, women are we say that why don't they reach the top? But this is the break in career which happens. And I would say that we must all support all those around us. And I have, as I said, been very fortunate that my family comes from a very large number of chartered accountants and doctors. My auntie-in-laws who are 80 plus, but they were all BA, MEds, and they were teachers at that point of time also. Today they are 80, 85. But not everybody is so lucky, and not everybody's views is that broad-based, that yes, the problems which come for women, and it's not a easy journey for women also, because the emotional quotient of women is pretty higher than that of a man, because they are brought up like that. When we say emotional quotient, what we mean is that women find it very difficult to put themselves different from their various roles. What I mean by that is, suppose if I am a mother, my son is having a temperature, I have left him with my, it's not very serious, he is having a fever, my mother-in-law will give him medicines every 3 hours. But your boss is shouting, so you end up going to the office, but every half an hour you keep calling, is he okay, what is it, is he okay? So that emotional detachment, that giving 100% where you are, I think that kind of discipline we all need to cultivate. If you think the son is really sad, is really bad, stay at home, take care of him. But not giving 100%. Same thing happens with your job also. I mean, this is my personal experience, I tell you, when I was full 9 months pregnant, and we were trying to introduce some changes in Bombay Stock Exchange, the settlement systems. And those changes were very far-reaching. And people, who are used to pay crores of rupees after 15 days, after 20 days, at their own will, they would have to pay that money within 3 days, within 5 days. And they hated it. So they would instigate, various problems in the systems which were, because we needed a lot of change in processes. And unless the process changed, we could not, reach that target of faster settlements. And I remember standing for 3 hours in the boardroom of the exchange and justifying, there were so many problems continuously raised. And I was constantly giving solution to each of the problems. And physically it was exhausting. Mentally it was exhausting because, people are really vicious. When it comes to, attacking, people are very vicious. And then, despite all that, I could survive is only because, and I did not break down or cry or anything, is only because I kept on telling myself that what they are criticizing is not me, but the task that I am doing. So distinguishing yourself from your task is something that a discipline which will really take you a long way in trying to further your careers. Because very often we take whatever is told to us personally. Sometimes it is intended to hurt you, sometimes it may be just to make you improve. But we choose to take everything upon ourselves, and as a result of which we end up being targeted as emotionally I would say weak person, and not able to take criticism. And let me tell you, as women we have to work twice as hard in order to really prove yourself, in order to really show yourself. And men are all very good to you so long as you are peers. Okay, they are very good to you so long as you are peers, but moment you are first among the equals, then all draggers are knocked out. This is my first-hand experience when I was on the board of BSc, for so many years. But the day, it became that I am going to become the president of the exchange, and then all the draggers were drawn out. There were so many men who strongly felt, how can we have a woman as a president? कोई बाई हमारे सर पे बैठेगी क्या? They will not even say महिला, they will say कोई बाई हमारे सर पे बैठेगी क्या? So in the history of the exchange, 130-year history, they never had a woman on the board, and they never obviously expected a woman become a president. But of course, as things conspired, I did become a president, and who were most vocal, they did not have any say in whatever happened, and I became the president of the exchange. So this is another important thing, that as peers, you are in very good situation, but moment you are promoted, you are above somebody, then you will see that the behavior of people changes. And I think at such time, this taking care of your emotional quotient is very, very important. So understanding these human relations and human dynamics, as I said, we have to work twice as hard. Because, men are not going to think of all these things. If he is promoted, he'll feel happy, take a box of chocolates, go home, and and then next day start bossing over whoever is there. But for women, when they become, level above others, then the kind of behavior, the kind of sensitivity that needs to come from women is very, very important. And I think these are, some of the pointers that I am giving you, that you are all in your professional life. And I think I would wish that everybody really reaches the top. Of course, becoming directors and all, I do not know how much the current environment, and of course, we would say that almost 40% of the Indian stock in Indian companies is owned by promoters. So unless you are from a promoter family, it is not so easy that you will be promoted to a director. But in professional organizations, yes, there are so many women who are managing directors, who are at very good post, who are extremely knowledgeable, and I fully endorse that the amount of understanding and patience which women have, they are absolutely, completely, I would say, apt to be in senior positions. Because if we draw from our mythology, Lakshmi and Saraswati are both women. So knowledge and wealth both rest with the women. So it's in us, but it's up to us. It's up to us as to how much we get out of our molds, we get out of our mental, setbacks and whatever, and give 100% to whatever we do. Because in life, there is nothing, which can really break your career. There is, if you have enough, guts to take things forward, it is not, you may go on a 3-month leave, take a 6-month leave, ask your some family member to come and, help. Things may not be so bad, but I think keeping your, mental frame and taking the right decision at that point of time is really very important. So this is on careers and the mental mind games that women have to play. I will shortly talk about finance because we are all women in finance. And Aditya, you should give a award actually for housewives who manage their home finances. Because see what happens is, one secret I will tell you, that men may be good at earning money, but they are not necessarily good at investing money. Okay. Investments come as a last priority so far as the family finances are concerned. Whatever money you earn, you put it in the bank, it is spent, and then whatever remains, that may be invested, or somebody will give some tip and somebody will go and buy. But a very conscious management of money is something which is lacking in most Indian families. And what we call as financial literacy, there is a big gap. If you look in US now, they had made it mandatory that doctors, engineers, architects, everybody should have financial literacy and they must learn finance. Government of India is also trying to introduce some courses on financial literacy. When I was on the board of the National Payment Corporation, we conducted so many seminars across the country. On a single day, we used to conduct 100 seminars on simple things like use of a debit card. We have to actually go and tell the fathers, your daughter is studying in some other little faraway place, please take a debit card and give it to her. And we educated so many people on these things. So even educated women are not really, good at managing their finances. I think this is one area where you must take interest in order to understand your family finances. It is not just managing the household expenses, because even a simple management, you may have a small portfolio of 1 or 2 lakh rupees, but you can make it grow only if you give attention to that small portfolio. So this is very important, that please take interest, and if you have teenage and above, please involve the children also into the family finances. Because children are very often completely devoid of what is happening in the family. Many times women are also devoid of what is happening. And I know I used to take this family finance course for women at IMC, and those women, they were from multi-crore families. They were really, their husbands owned crores and crores of wealth, but the women were not at all aware of what is the kind of wealth, where is it invested, what is happening to it. They knew nothing about it. I think such a situation is not very desirable, because finance is fun. I mean, stock markets are fun. I tell you, I am 60 plus and I thrive today because I really enjoy the markets. Anything, anywhere it happens in the world, it has an impact on the market. They are so exciting, constantly changing, so versatile, so much happening, something coming, going, and everything that happens in the world has an impact in the stock market. So it is something which is very exciting. And there are simple ways of investing. Start with a register. Whichever 8-10 companies you are working with, your friends are working with, just track the share prices. And once you track it for 1 month, 2 months, you will understand why the prices are moving. Go and check on the internet. So much information is available as to why did this price move, and then start predicting the prices. And fortunately, we have mutual funds, we have investment baskets, so many options are available. So second thing I want to pass on the message to you is that please get involved in your family finances, and I'm sure you will improve the yield by at least 50% by just paying once a week attention to your portfolio. And last thing I want to tell you is about custody of financial assets. Again, we are very poor on custody of financial assets. You have one chain you have, it may be costing some 20,000-50,000 rupees. And you will put it in double lock, you will put it in safe, you will ensure nobody touches it, it is carefully put. You may have a beautiful sari which you will wrap it up, will keep it nicely. But when it comes to your DMAT certificate, you don't know where it is, you don't know whether it is updated, you don't know anything about it. When it comes to your insurance policy, you don't know where it is. And is it due, is the premium due, what is the status, all these things we don't know. Fixed deposits, and I guarantee you that almost 40 to 50% of the people don't have their fixed deposits. Nor do they have a banking statement which gives you your fixed deposit status, when it is maturing, when you will get the interest, did you get the interest or not. All these things we are completely, we completely ignore. But custody of financial asset is as important as custody of your physical assets. And what is most important is nominations. Nominations, your demat account must have a nomination. You should not have any physical shares in your house. Your father, father-in-law, or whoever, if they have got physical shares, please see to it, because nowadays government has come up with this new rule that if you have not changed your bank account in your DP and your dividend bounces, within 7 years government will take away all your shares, and then to get it released from there is a nightmare. Don't ever have shares in single name. Again, if there must be a nomination. In insurance policies, people, young men, when they are young and not married, they will put their mother's or their brother's name as a nomination. But when you get married, the nomination does not get changed. Your flat, does it have a nomination? Will it automatically come to you? I had written an article many years ago on a topic called life after death. And if you really want people, after you to live a comfortable life, then the assets financial assets you have created must go to them, it must be enjoyed by them. And Indian laws are so bad, let me tell you, if you have any asset in single name, getting a probate from the court is at least 4 to 5 year affair. It is so bad. Even today, this lecture I am giving for so many years, even today, the probate procedures are very bad. My neighbor took 11 years to get the probate. My brother took almost 6 years to get the probate, So all these things, the way the laws are structured, little bit of alertness, it can really, help you. So go home, just prepare, take a register, prepare a list of all the financial assets, your insurance policies, your fixed deposits, your shares, your debentures, if any, then if you have any FDs in corporates, all these things, just put it in one place, I think, and involve your children. I think they will also become most literate in managing their finances. I used to do very simple thing when my children were small. I used to keep a box in the cupboard in which I put 25,000 rupees. And I used to tell my children that all expenses must happen out of this box. So initially in few months, the money would get over by 20 or 22nd or something. Because, go and buy some pizza or some game or whatever children would go and buy. Then after that, there is no money to spend. You have to wait till the first. And then the money started lasting till end of the month. And then there's something remained also thereafter. So I think this consciousness which is there, which I see it in my children now that they are grown up. My son, he works for Amazon in USA, and my younger son is a stand-up comedian. But they still on their phones, they maintain their accounts. I spent so much, this what I did. I think this kind of grounding in family finance is very important for children, and we must and this whole thing about somebody bought this, my friend is having this phone, all these things over a period of time. And it is really, it will mentally help the children. Ki whatever I have, I must spend within that. And if I really want to upgrade my status, I need to work hard, I need to study hard, I need to get better jobs. So all these things, they get slowly inculcated into the children. So involving them in family finances, I felt, was a very important step for all of us. And with that, I will conclude. Thank you very much once again, Aditya, for having called me. And of course, I always love to talk about finances and stock market. And I hope I have inspired you also to start looking at the stock markets. Thank you very much.
Any questions, ladies and gentlemen, out there? Anyone? All right, I can see. Anyone? You have a question?
Hi, Deenabin. I'm Foram Shah. I'm a partner with a law firm. And I've got couple of occasions to hear you all my career, at Government Law College and couple of other platforms. Standing so strong all over the years with health issue, with family issues, and dealing the same pressure at the workplace, at home. How do you manage this?
No, I think there is, as I told you, that this role segregation is something which has really helped me, and it has not come overnight. Let me tell you, it has been a long journey. It took many years for me. Like about, I'll tell you, 6 7 years back. See, it's a constant process to be conscious about yourself. About 7 years back, I did a course on Bhagavad Gita. Okay, and we were supposed to write some 30 papers, and each paper almost 5,000 words I wrote. But the last question was that what you learnt in this chapter, what are you going to change in your life? And I listed 250 things, okay, 250 items which I need to change in my life. Small things like as soon as you get up, you must take a bath. So you are absolutely ready for the day. Do meditation in the morning. Don't shout at the driver if he comes late. Don't get angry if you are stuck in traffic. All small things. Like I have got so many servants. They keep taking loans. So I would keep accounts of that. Then I would feel lazy, not pay them salary till 10th, 12th because I have to do all the accounts. So all these small things, but they're very small things. But it took me 4 years to make all these changes in my life. So I think it is a constant evolving process. First thing is be conscious. I think if you are conscious, you have one half the battle. Spend 10 minutes at night, close your eyes, and just see what did I learn new today. Did I harm anybody? Did I shout? Did I get angry? What happened? And once this becomes a habit, then life is pretty easy, and you are a good person to be with, I would say. Otherwise, with so much pressures around you, people get bored and tired of you because you are just bursting continuously. So I think for welfare of everybody around us also, the more the pressure, more you should stay cool and just think and be conscious.
So, Deenabin, when you started your journey, were you always this ambitious? That
Honestly speaking, I never knew I am the first woman to enter the ring. I'll be very honest with you. I never knew. I just went, because I was in Crompton Greaves, and my husband said, "This 9 to 5 job, you just," because I passed out my I am a chartered accountant and I did
Yes.
MMS in finance. So I passed out from NMIMS, and then I was looking for jobs. And you will be surprised to hear that Firodia never employed any women at that point of time. In 1985, Firodia Group never employed women. So I had applied for Firodia. They said, you can't come. Then I got job in Crompton. So I worked for 1.5 years in Crompton. Then I said almost 2 years. Then 9 to 5 job, my husband said, you quit. So I said, okay. So he had bought a stock market card. So it was lying idle. He said, why don't you go to the stock market? So I went. And then it takes 1 or 2 minutes of interview. Everybody is approved. But for me, they took 2 hours because they completely dissuaded me. Don't come, don't come, don't come. I said, what is wrong with you? I said, I want to come because actually I had nothing to do. So I said, no, I want to come, whatever you say. Last argument was, we don't have toilets for women. That was the last argument. I said, don't worry, I'll take care of myself. Because that time the ring time was 12 to 2 only. And you won't believe, I have 100% attendance from 1985 to 1995 when the ring closed. 100% attendance. I never missed a single day. Because once I entered, and being a chartered accountant MBA, I knew nothing about the stock market. We didn't know that merger, what is merger? Actually, SEC was called merger because, a lot of companies had merged into and ACC was formed. They merged a lot of cement companies. Accounting of stock market, completely different. Every day we prepare a balance sheet. So much is to be paid to the exchange, so much brokerage is come, client net payments, this margin money is so much. Every day you have to prepare a balance sheet, which was never, something which we did even as a chartered accountant. So all these things, we learned as we went along.
So, it has been a journey right from 1980s, 85. Then you have come across all these small guys becoming big, from PwC to Deloitte. And uh, how did you manage that change, growing with a fast scale industry?
No, actually, I mean, I just did whatever I was doing, to be honest with you, and I tried to do it the best. That's all I can say. I always try to see कि जो भी मैं करती हूँ, let me give 100%. And I was, kind of a reformist person who kept on thinking. So I would always like to change. ये ठीक नहीं है, इसको कैसे सही करना है. And I think I got lot of, I would say, leadership because of knowledge. Knowledge was a major asset for me, I would say. I come from a very humble family. But knowledge is power when we say. I am a living example because I studied a lot. I studied the systems. I studied the changes. I studied the law. I wrote new laws. So I think that is, constant desire to keep getting better. I think that is maybe something. But as let me tell you, it was never intended. It was just in me to keep poking my head in everything and try to see how it can be improved. I think that's all curiosity, basic curiosity, childlike curiosity, I would say. Because many times I'm talking something with my husband and something I will see, then I'll suddenly ask him. So he'll say, oh, where did it come from? I said, oh, I saw that and this. So I think it's a childlike curiosity that keeps me going. Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah. Yeah, she wants to. Your time is up, na? Okay.
Hello, Deena Ben.
Yeah, see, time management is very important. Again, I will tell you that also. One of my, this I am good at is because of timing. If I go to a wedding, if I allotted 1 hour is over, I'll walk out. Dula dulan aaye ya nahi aaye. Okay. I go to seminars, I first only tell them, this is my timing, you have to release me by this time. So I think time management is very important. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, Deena Ben. This is Ami from ET Prime.
Yes.
You've been a professional for so many decades and literally broken certain glass ceilings. Do you think, when do you think, and do you think we'll be able to see a day where instead of where we will see equality in society, at workplaces, at homes? Do you think we will really arrive at such a will we be alive to see that in a lifetime?
No, I would say it's a evolution process. See, every generation, like, there is one generation which will have to pay the price. Like maybe it was our generation and to some extent, those of you who are in 40s, 35, 40s, early 50s, you are paying the price because this whole change which has to happen in the society, we are bearing the brunt of all that, because as I said, my family was quite liberal, but then किसी के यहाँ बच्चा हुआ, उधर जाना पड़ेगा, somebody's 7th month program is there, ये है, वो है, and so all these things, and husband's work comes as a priority over your work. So all these changes, we are all bearing the brunt, and maybe to some extent you are bearing, but maybe your daughters and your children, as I said, in every house, if there are going to be 3-4 working women, that entire thought process of the entire family will change. So I think it's a evolving process, and I would say we are getting there. It's not that, but it will take maybe another 10 years or so, because the number of women joining the workforce and staying there, I think that is what is the key to the entire success of it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing these amazing words. Now, may I please call on stage over here Sharat Singh sir to felicitate over here. Can we have a round of applause for them?
I think you invited me for a tall ask.
You spoke before me, so I should be giving you. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.